crafty friends, welcome back. I am thrilled to announce that I am an Altenew ambassador for the next couple of months, so please be in the lookout for more inspiration and a special offer and maybe a giveaway later in the month. Let's take a look at what we got to play with today. I'm using the Outline Hello and the Spring Serenade cardstock along with the black instant dimensional foam tape that Altenew graciously sent me, along with some stellar sequins I have bought before. So the die set has two elements, the offset or shadow part and the outline. I am creating an A2 card size, so I have to decide whether or not I want my sentiment or my window cut out on a diagonal or horizontal. I am going to check if my 1/4 inch foam tape fits to create a well underneath my window. The space is barely there, so I decided to go on a diagonal instead. First, I will die cut the offset or shadow part from my front panel, and then I will die cut the outline from a different piece of cardstock. One of the things I love about Altenew dies is that now they come with an acetate guide, so if you have several pieces, you know where to position them so you can store things easily. A great tip I learned is that using bubble wrap underneath the cardstock will help release all the little bits from intricate dies. And believe me, that has saved my sanity more than once. Once I die cut my elements, I was deciding whether or not I wanted to die cut the hello outline out of every single color and end up with 10 different options, or as I did here, to cut strips that measure 1/2 inch by 2 inches in each color. That will be more approachable, and I think it causes less waste for the time being, because I wanted to showcase every single color in this cardstock set, which, by the way, is beautiful. If you don't have it, I mean, you need to get it. Then I measure the length and height of the hello offset to make sure I had enough paper on the back so no white will show through my window. So I ended up having a 2 by 5.5 inches piece of cardstock to create my background, and over it I applied some double-sided tape and then began positioning every single strip I cut. I arranged them in my preferred order, and I used my stamp wheel to keep the cardstock from moving around. So as you can see here, everything was going perfectly well until the very end, where I realized that I either miscalculated the dimensions of my rectangle, or as you can see here, I realized that I dropped a piece of cardstock and didn't even think about it until I was editing my video. So after burnishing the strips very well, I trimmed that excess cardstock I have and made sure that it will cover, or it will be enough for my window to only show color stripes. So it did, and then I proceeded to mark my offset on my card base to see, or to make sure that I position my background piece in the right position. I will trim the corners of my background piece to make sure I don't get any bumps on when I apply the foam tape, because this will add another layer of cardstock, actually 2 layers of cardstock, because it's the rectangle where I put the strips, so that's 2 thicknesses of cardstock on top of the card base. So I wanted a smoother finish, so I trimmed the corners to make room for the 1/4 inch width foam tape. Here I am using this stage of my stamp wheel to align the tape to have a cleaner edge. I will use the 1/2 inch width foam tape to fill up the sections outside of my background to help the shaker keep its form. It's important to remember that you should add your shaker bits before removing the backing of the tape. Otherwise, you might end up having a few bits stuck to the tape, causing a little bit of trouble later on. Ask me how I know. Did you know that Altenew sequins now come in packs of 6 different sizes per color? All of the colors are beautiful. If you haven't seen them, go check them out. They are really beautiful. For this card, I'm using the 3 smallest sizes in the pack, and once I have the amount I want, I will remove the backing of the tape just enough to position the acetate on top and close my well. I don't want to move my card and just start dropping all the bits everywhere. Since I position my window on a diagonal, I have to trim some of the acetate corners as well before applying or adhering the front panel. Once again, I'm going to use the stage of my stamp wheel to align my front panel. I will make sure that the bits move around the window freely. And then I just realized that I forgot to add adhesive to the back side of the die cut window. So I applied a little bit of liquid adhesive, and then I did the same for the outline. If you prefer it, it's probably easier if you die cut your cardstock with double-sided adhesive on the back. I was ready to call it done, but then I decided to add a little bit of shimmer relief paste using a stencil with stars. I believe it is the Galaxy stencil. I will have the information on the description box. Apologies, I cannot recall the name right now. So I'm applying a very thin layer of shimmer relief paste, and before applying it to the second section, I will make sure my stencil is clean so I don't smudge any of that paste. Once I let it dry, I think I am really happy how it turned out. So please let me know what your thoughts are about this design and if you would give it a try. Altenew is graciously offering a discount of 35% off a microblending brush set to my subscribers. The offer is valid until April 10, 2026. Also, don't forget to enroll on my next free workshop. The link is in the description box, and when you enroll, you will gain access to an exclusive 20% off discount that Altenew graciously offers to the participants of the workshop. If you like this content, here are 2 more videos you might enjoy as well. Thank you for stopping by. Until next time, happy crafting!